There is a J. Crew broken-in tee hanging in your closet right now that you bought in 2014, maybe 2012. The cotton is still thick. The color still holds after dozens of washes. The neckline has not stretched. It might be the most reliable piece of clothing you own. Now go to J. Crew today. Pick up what looks like the same t-shirt and wash it 3 times. The cotton thins. The color fades unevenly. The neckline sags like it gave up. Same name on the tag. Completely different fabric inside it. And that old tee did not get lucky. The cotton was different back then, how it was spun, how heavy it was, what plant it came from. All of that changed, and most of us never noticed because the tags still carry the names we trusted. 6 cotton brands that are no longer worth your money, 3 that are. And by the end, you will know how to tell the difference yourself in about 5 seconds. We are starting with the 3 that sting the most. But first, one thing about cotton that changes how you look at every t-shirt, every button-down, and every dress from here on out. Go to your closet right now and pull out your 2 favorite cotton t-shirts, one old, one newer. Hold them both up to a window. The old one blocks the light. You can barely see your hand through it. The newer one, if it is from one of the 6 brands we are about to cover, lets daylight pass right through. That is weight. Quality cotton t-shirts weigh between 180 and 220 grams per square meter. That weight is why the old tee still holds its shape. Budget cotton runs 120 to 140. That is why the new one clings and becomes see-through by July. The way the cotton is spun matters just as much. The good stuff is ring-spun, twisted into a tighter, stronger yarn. Softer on day 1, still soft on day 300. The cheap alternative is open-end cotton. It costs less, but it pills and falls apart much faster. Then there is Supima cotton, grown in the American Southwest with fibers 35% longer than regular cotton. Smoother, stronger, and it actually feels better after washing instead of worse. Less than 1% of the world's cotton is Supima. That used to be standard at the brands we are about to cover. It is not anymore. Number 1. J. Crew. If you built your wardrobe around J. Crew in the 2000s, this one hurts. J. Crew was the brand that made cotton feel important. The broken-in tee, the perfect fit button-down. Cotton that got softer with every wash instead of falling apart. Michelle Obama wore J. Crew to the White House. The brand presented at New York Fashion Week. That was unheard of for a mall brand. Every woman who shopped there in that era remembers the feeling. You would put on a J. Crew tee and you just knew. The weight of it, the way it moved, the cotton answered for itself. Then, in 2011, 2 private equity firms walked in. TPG Capital and Leonard Green and Partners bought J. Crew with borrowed money. Not their money, J. Crew's money. They loaded the company with $1.65 billion in debt, pulled out over $760 million in fees and dividends, and let it sink. In May 2020, J. Crew became the first major retailer to go bankrupt during the pandemic. The bankruptcy wiped the debt, but the cotton never came back. The broken-in tee you wore to every school pickup, the one your daughter tried to borrow when she went to college. That cotton does not exist at J. Crew anymore. What is on the shelf today is a cotton polyester blend that feels soft in the store but starts pilling before Labor Day. The reviews all sound the same now. Women who used to buy 10 J. Crew tees at a time saying they cannot find a single one worth keeping. One reviewer said she held the new broken-in tee up to the store light and could read the price tag through the fabric. That is not a t-shirt. That is a suggestion of one. They saved the brand. They did not save the cotton. But J. Crew is not the only brand where an outside buyer walked in and the cotton walked out. Number 2, Land's End. There are women who have been ordering from the Land's End catalog for 30 years. Not because they love shopping, because they found what worked and never needed to look again. Supima cotton turtlenecks. Thick peak polo shirts that survived hundreds of wash cycles. Cotton nightgowns you inherited from your mother and still wear on Sunday mornings. Land's End had a guarantee for life. The company meant it. The cotton was built to honor it. Then Sears bought them in 2002 for $1.9 billion. The suppliers changed. The cotton got lighter. The Supima product line started shrinking. The polo shirt that used to come out of the dryer looking the same as when it went in started pilling within months. When Sears went bankrupt in 2018, Land's End had already been separated. But the supply chain had already been redirected to cheaper factories. You cannot uncut a corner. Land's End still offers Supima cotton, but in fewer products every season. The rest has been quietly swapped for regular cotton or blends. And the women who have been ordering the same turtleneck for 2 decades can feel the difference the moment they open the package, before they even look at the tag. The reviews from longtime customers read like they are mourning something. One woman said she has been ordering the same Supima polo every spring for 18 years. The one that arrived last March was so thin she thought they sent the wrong item. They did not change their guarantee, they changed their cotton. But the next brand is where all of this connects, because the company behind it is the same company we already exposed in our linen video. Number 3, Ann Taylor and Loft. If you watched our video on women's linen brands, you already know the name Sycamore Partners. That is the private equity firm that bought Talbots and Chico's, merged them into a holding company called the Knitwell Group, and squeezed the quality out of their linen line. In December 2020, Sycamore Partners bought Ann Taylor, Loft, and Lane Bryant for $540 million. By August 2023, they folded those brands into the same Knitwell Group. So let me count what one private equity firm now controls: Ann Taylor, Loft, Talbots, Chico's, White House Black Market, Soma, Lane Bryant, Haven Well Within. 8 brands, 3,000 stores, 1 owner. And once you own that many labels, you consolidate suppliers and share fabrics across brands. The cotton in your Ann Taylor button-down and the cotton in your Loft weekend tee may be coming from the same mill, at the same reduced weight, with a different label stitched in at the end. The stores are shrinking, the cotton is thinning, the prices have not moved. The woman standing in Ann Taylor today thinks she is shopping at Ann Taylor. She is shopping at Knitwell. And Knitwell is not a clothing company. Knitwell is a portfolio. Those are not separate brands anymore. That is one company wearing 8 different outfits. So far, we covered 3 cotton brands that used to mean something. All 3 are in the full brand guide, along with 82 other clothing and shoe brands scored and ranked. Some scored a 5 out of 5, others scored a 2. And a few of the names that scored the lowest are brands you are probably wearing right now. The link is right below in the description, or scan the QR code on screen right now. Now, the next 3 are not brands you grew up with. These are the traps that catch you while you are browsing online or walking through the mall on a Saturday. Number 4, Zara. You are on vacation. You walk into a Zara. The cotton section looks gorgeous. Clean cuts, perfect neutrals, the exact silhouette you saw in a magazine last week. $40 for a cotton blouse, $50 for a pair of cotton trousers. That feels right. But flip the tag over and read the fiber content. Most Zara cotton pieces are not cotton. They are cotton polyester blends. That polyester drops the production cost to somewhere between $6 and $10 per blouse and lets Zara move a design from sketchbook to store rack in 2 weeks. At $40 retail, you are paying for fabric that was designed to photograph well, not to age well. 5 washes in, the blend shows you what it is. The polyester sags where cotton would hold. The color fades unevenly. The blouse looked like a summer staple in the fitting room. By August, it looks like it has been through 2 summers. If you treat Zara as what it is, one-season clothing at a one-season price, the deal is fair. But if you are reaching for that blouse thinking it will be in your suitcase next June, the cotton cannot keep that promise. Number 5, H&M. Picture this. You are in an H&M on vacation and you see a cotton tee with a green tag that says Conscious Choice, Organic Fibers, Responsible Sourcing. It feels like a step up from fast fashion. Then you read the care label, 52% cotton, 48% polyester. The green tag is marketing. The care label is the truth. To be fair, H&M prices are honest about what you are getting. A cotton blend top for $15 to $25 does not pretend to be an heirloom piece. But women who grew up with J.Crew cotton and Lands' End Supima see that conscious choice tag and assume the performance is comparable. It is not. After 3 washes, the shrinking is aggressive, the color loss is visible, and the pilling shows up exactly where life happens. Around the neckline, under the arms, where your handbag strap rests against your hip every single day. H&M cotton works fine for a layering piece you need for a long weekend trip. It does not work if you are trying to build a rotation that needs to make it to October. Number 6. Gap and Old Navy. This one is not about bad cotton. It is about the illusion of choice. Gap Inc. owns 4 brands: Gap, Old Navy, Banana Republic, Athleta. 4 different names, 4 different price points, 1 parent company. Gap's Essential Tee uses decent 100% cotton with enough weight to hold its shape. That is a fair product. But Old Navy's Everyday Soft Tee uses lighter cotton, around 140 grams per square meter, that feels soft on the rack because thinner fabric drapes more. That is not softness. That is less cotton per shirt. And at the top, Banana Republic charges a premium for cotton that does not meaningfully outperform what Gap sells 2 doors down. You are paying for the lighting in the store and the font on the tag. The woman shopping at 4 different websites on a Sunday evening thinks she is comparing 4 different brands. She is comparing 4 different price tags on the same supply chain. The tag changes, the cotton does not. So, 6 brands that are either coasting on a name they no longer earn or selling you cotton that was never meant to last. Here are 3 that do what the big names used to do. Number 1. Quince. Quince is the brand that makes the entire cotton industry look like it has been overcharging you for 20 years. Because it has. Quince sells 100% organic cotton t-shirts for $20. Button-downs for $35. Dresses for $50. Same quality cotton as brands charging 3 times more without the retail stores, the magazine campaigns, or the celebrity partnerships. They work directly with certified factories and pass the savings to you. If you watched our linen video, you already know this model. Same factory, fraction of the price. Customer reviews keep saying it feels like old J.Crew. The J.Crew that does not exist anymore. Except this one is $20 and it ships to your door. You cannot try it on in a fitting room, but Quince does free returns. At other brands, you are paying for the logo on the label. Quince skips the logo and gives you the cotton. Number 2. Fair Indigo. This is the brand most women have never heard of, and that is the only thing wrong with it. Fair Indigo works with 1 type of cotton, organic Peruvian Pima. Extra long fibers that make it dramatically softer and stronger than regular cotton. But Fair Indigo does not just use any Pima. They source from the top 0.05% of all cotton grown on Earth. 2 family farms in Peru, hand-harvested because machines damage the long fibers that give Pima its softness. Every garment is pre-washed and pre-shrunk before it ships. The seams use 12 stitches per inch, where the industry average is 8 to 10. The fit you try on day 1 is the fit you still have on day 300. Prices run $35 to $80. For cotton that competes with luxury labels at $200 or more, the math is not close. Here is what happens with Fair Indigo. Women buy 1 tee to try it. Then they buy 3 more. Then they stop looking elsewhere. Because the cotton feels the way you remember cotton feeling. Before everything got thinner, it feels like the t-shirt you used to pull out of the dryer in 2006 and never thought twice about. That is what cotton is supposed to feel like. You had just forgotten. A good cotton t-shirt does not need to be replaced. It only needs to be washed. Number 3. Packed. If Quince is where you start and Fair Indigo is where you splurge, Packed is where you build. Everything Packed sells is organic cotton, not organic on the label and polyester on the care tag. Organic verified by GOTS certification, meaning an independent auditor walked through the factory and confirmed it. On their website, you can click on any t-shirt and see which factory made it, where that factory is located, and what certifications it holds. Try that at J.Crew. Prices run $25 to $65. The cotton is mid-weight. The kind of fabric that gets better after a few washes because the fibers settle without loosening. All cotton, all transparent. And that transparency is the difference. The 6 brands on the Avoid list all put beautiful words on their websites. Conscious, responsible, thoughtful. Packed puts the receipts. The 3 brands you can trust sell you fabric, not a brand experience. The 6 brands to avoid are more interested in their label than in their cotton. 3 of the 6 brands we covered today are controlled by private equity firms. At every single one of them, the quality went down while the prices went up. That is not a coincidence. That is a business model. Now I want to hear from you. What is the oldest cotton t-shirt or button-down still hanging in your closet? And what brand made it? Let us know in the comments. Because I have a feeling most of those answers are going to be brands that do not make cotton like that anymore.